Uh-oh. I'm gonna pick up the bench with it. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy Halloween. I can't believe it's already Halloween. I'm so excited. For today, I have another mukbang. You guys really seem to like my chips and dip mukbangs, so I'm bringing you another one once again. And I'm super excited because I made some really fun dips today. I've been craving pizza recently, so I made a pizza inspired dip. And then over here I made this Cookie Monster dip, so it's like so many things inside a dip, like vegan M&Ms, vegan my chocolate chips, Oreos, peanut butter, oats, like there's so many things. And I'm super excited. Oh, and then to dip in the sweet dip, I have, these are like the best pretzels ever. I swear, you should go get them. They're vegan. It's the Sprouts brand pretzels. They're just so good. And I have some vegan graham crackers. And then for the savory dip, I have some Pita Chips. These are accidentally vegan Pita Chips from the brand Stacy's. I also got these accidentally vegan everything but the bagel pretzels. I was actually not planning on getting these, but they were on clearance, and they are these vegan ranch chips, and I thought that was perfect for a pizza dip, so I had to get them for this. I think I'm going to start with the pita chips first. Ooh. So I think they're pretty much just like pitas in chip form. I don't know. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited for this. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys. Okay, cheers. Mm-hmm. That's good. I think pita chips go really well with this because they're I wouldn't say bland, but they don't have an overbearing flavor, so you get to taste a lot of the other special flavors in the dip, and so they're just really good with this pizza dip. Now I'm going to try some of the pretzels. I'm going to try a pretzel first. I don't know about you guys, but I love everything but the bagel flavoring, so I love these. And they're very stable, so they don't break when you dip them. Okay, now for the ranch chips. Okay, I'm gonna try one first. They're pretty good. Not a very strong ranch flavor, but it's subtle. Also, for today's mukbang, I forgot to tell you, I'm going to tell you guys about my craziest Halloween experience. So I have a story time for you guys today, and I'm really excited. I love telling story times. So I'm excited to tell this one, especially because it was it was wild. Okay, one more bite and then I'll get into the story. So, this experience happened about 2-3 years ago, I want to say. It was on Halloween night. So, it is a tradition for me and my family to go to this one house that is called the Dinosaur House. It's an annual thing. Every Halloween, we go to this house that has so many dinosaurs. Like, the whole yard is covered in dinosaurs. The guy who owns the house, he will be in his garage handing out candy. But not just any candy. To every person, he hands out either a king-size candy bar or a large candy bar or a box of Skittles or something, you know, like the ones that are about that big, and a stuffed animal or toy. So obviously this draws a lot of attention and a lot of people go. So my mom will usually take us earlier, like 4:30, before the line gets extremely long, so we can get there, get it out of the way, and then go trick-or-treating. We have more of these. This one year, we waited in line, we got there early. We got through it pretty quickly. At least quicker than usual. So then, after that, I think I ended up getting one of those like long packs of Reese's Peanut Butter Cups because I wasn't vegan at the time. And I think it was a dinosaur stuffed animal or something. Very fun. But then my mom took me to my friend's house. We'll call her Emma. We were just gonna hang out before we were trick-or-treating. So Emma was finishing up her costume, and we were also gonna go with my other friend. We'll call her Megan. So Emma was just finishing up the final touches of her costume, and then Megan arrived, and then we all kind of just hung out for a little bit and waited for it to get dark, because usually a lot of people aren't handing out candy until later, and sometimes parents are out with their kids getting the trick-or-treating done early, and then they'll be home to hand out candy. So we were just waiting a little bit to give the parents more time, if that makes sense. And then we eventually headed out. So in Emma's neighborhood, there is this one street that all the houses come together and they string up ghosts from house to house all along the cul-de-sac. And every house pretty much participates. Some houses will have more crazier decorations than others, but I think pretty much every single house joins in and decorates their house. One of the houses has their garage open, and they have this little mini haunted house set up, so you can go through their garage and you pass by like either people dressed up in costumes or just things that jump out at you, and it's like this really mini garage haunted house, and it is so cute. So one of the houses does that, and another house is handing out freaking snow cones, and it's so much fun. And also, the street that this cul-de-sac is on will also kind of participate. Some of the people will participate, and some of the houses like will have the game on, so you can watch the game while you're passing by. And another house will have The Nightmare Before Christmas projecting on their garage, which is so cool, so you can watch that as you're trick-or-treating. So much fun. So Emma, Megan, and I, we were just trick-or-treating, heading toward that general direction, and all of a sudden I hear this like really deep, almost like bass boosted sound, and it really freaked me out. I didn't really know how to explain what it was, so I glanced over at Megan and Emma to see if they were reacting to it. They were kind of looking around like they heard it too, but they didn't seem as anxious as I felt. Honestly, my first thought was, is this an earthquake? But we don't get earthquakes where we live, so I didn't know what to think. And then all of a sudden, this car turns around the corner and, well, not really turns, more like speeds around the corner, and it's decked out in lights. And there are these people hanging off the sides of it, and obviously people inside as well, and they're wearing purge masks. And I was like, oh, well, that's it, we're gonna die. But no, they were just teenagers having fun on Halloween, and they were playing music. They were blasting some really loud music, and then they also had another car behind them that was following them, same exact thing, and they were carrying fake weapons and stuff. So it was pretty freaky, but I mean, it was Halloween, so it made sense. So that was just the beginning of our night. I also have some water in my hydro, as per usual. Okay, before I continue, I'm going to try some of this dip now. I'm going to start with the graham crackers. Ooh, okay, I'm so excited. I also put some Biscoff butter in here too, so it's Biscoff butter and peanut butter. Ah, I knew that was going to happen. That's okay. This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Okay. Mmm. So the graham crackers aren't very stable, so they're not ideal for chipping. So they're not ideal for dipping, but their flavor works really well with the dip. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna try some pretzels with this. I feel like pretzels are gonna be really good because it's almost like an everything but the kitchen sink type dip, except without pretzels. So here are the pretzels. Mmm. That's really good with the pretzels. So, Megan, Emma, and I made it to the crazy street I was telling you about. And we circumvented the cul-de-sac and then just made our way down to this park that we usually stop at every Halloween that I've been with Emma. Trick-or-treating. And this park was like mine and Emma's chill spot. Like we went there all the time. And so we were planning on stopping at this park. However, we ended up deciding that we wanted to keep trick-or-treating. So it had reached that point in time where it was getting late, but there's still the late trick-or-treaters out and people were still handing out candy. There was this neighborhood that was just past the park, and so we decided that we were gonna go probably hit up a few houses in that neighborhood. So the first street we made it to was already dark in itself. We weren't sure if it was the best idea to go down the street, mainly because we didn't think that anyone would be handing out candy on the street. So we thought it would kind of just be a waste of time. But then we ended up deciding like just to try. So we went to the first house and I think there was someone there, but I don't remember it very clearly, but I think we got like 1 or 2 pieces of candy. And then we started walking to the next house, but there were no lights on, like no Halloween decorations. We just decided to skip that house. So we came upon the next house, which had decorations up, but the lights were off. We slowed our pace a little bit because we were unsure about this house. We were a little bit hesitant to go up, especially when we noticed that the door was open. The screen door was shut, but the door was open. And so Megan and I were like, yeah, no, we're not going up there. And some people have their door open on Halloween. Actually, a lot of people do, so it's not like it was unordinary, but I don't know, Megan and I just very strongly did not want to go up to this house. But Emma, she just decided to go right ahead like it was just her next door neighbor. And she stopped before she reached the door and she kind of hunched over and she's like, trick or treat. And then Megan and I were like, shut up. And we started freaking out. We're like, eh. And then the next thing was just so unexpected. We hear what sounds like a chair scoot and then fall to the ground like someone was just taken aback. And we hear footsteps running toward the door. And I low-key wanted to just book it then and there. But Emma, She was firm in her foundation. She would not budge. So then the screen door opens and it's just this really nice guy, and he's like, sorry, I wasn't expecting any more trick-or-treaters, but I left my door open just in case, but my TV was too loud, so I'm really sorry. And we're like, oh my gosh, no, we're sorry, we're the ones who scared you. And then he ended up grabbing this huge bowl of candy full. He's like, yeah, I'm not expecting any more people, so you can each just have this fat handful. And we were like, jackpot. And yeah, so the guy ended up being really nice, and we decided that that was a good win and we should probably just head home because the rest of the neighborhood seemed pretty desolate anyway, and we didn't want to die. So we decided that we were gonna head home. But obviously on our way home we decided that we were going to hit up a few more houses on the way home. Like, why wouldn't you? It's Halloween. Halloween comes once a year. We're not going to miss out on any houses at all. So as we were heading back to Emma's house, we made it to this other cul-de-sac that seemed absolutely barren. Almost abandoned. I mean, obviously there were vehicles, but no Halloween decorations, no lights, nothing. But I think there was one house actually that had Halloween decorations, and so that's why we decided to go up to this house, because we're like, we'll try this house and then we'll just go home. No more houses. So we walk up to this house and knock on the door, and there's no response. And the door was glass, so you could kind of see through. And so we kind of peeked in, and it looked like nobody was home. The lights were off. There was just nothing, no sign of movement at all. And so we're like, okay, I guess we'll just go home now. So we decided that we were gonna head home. And as we started leaving the house, this car pulls up and we're like, okay, time to go. And so we started walking a little quicker, just because, you know, we're antisocial teens. We're not going to want to talk to nobody, especially after awkwardly standing at their door waiting for them to hand us candy. So we start leaving, but then this lady quickly comes out of the car and she's like, do you guys want candy? And we're like, sure, yeah. And this lady just starts talking, and she ends up going into her house as she's talking. But what I basically heard her say was, I bought all this candy and I was so excited. I was so prepared for Halloween and I bought so much stuff. But then last minute I had to go somewhere, so I wasn't able to hand out Halloween candy. And so I have all this candy. Can you please just take it? And we're like, and she walks out carrying this huge bucket. It's almost like a mini blow-up pool, but like much smaller. Like it was a big bucket, okay? And it was full of candy. And so we're kind of like, oh, let's see, what do I want? And she's like, all of it. Please take all of it. I don't think anybody else is going to be coming by tonight, and I don't need it, so please just take all of it. And we're like, okay. She goes back in her house as we're kind of like looking at everything that's in the bucket, and then she comes back out of her house with more stuff. She had more candy that she just threw in the tub that she gave us. And she ended up putting like glow sticks and those bags that you get at the store that have individual wrapped candies in them. She put like 3 of those in there, one of them being like Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, and then I think one was Dum Dums or something like that. And oh, and that bear up there, if you see that bear with a pumpkin right there, that was from her. She's like, and this thing, like, I don't need this. And I was like, can I have that? Emma and Megan were fine that I took it, so I took it. And oh my gosh, it was insane. I'm gonna have more pretzels now. I don't know if you guys care if I show you what different chips I'm eating, but I don't know, I just do it because I feel like you guys might want to know what I'm eating. I don't know. But But when I tell you that this lady was desperate to get rid of her candy, she like was almost forcing us to take all of it. So we each shoved a portion of it into our bags, and the lady was like, she was grateful that we took it all. So we started walking home, and it may have been Halloween that night, but I went home feeling like Santa Claus. I had so much in my bag. I don't know what you guys use to trick-or-treat with, but I use a pillowcase, and that thing was full. So we took everything back to Emma's house and dumped everything on the floor, and then just divvied it out. Is that a word? Whatever, it's a word now. We just divvied it out between us three, and it was so much fun. The candy that lady gave me alone filled up half of my, or maybe more than half of my pillowcase. When I went home that night, my pillowcase was pretty much full, and this was a big pillowcase too. So we hit the jackpot that year. Wow, I pretty much polished off this pizza dip. It's so good. It's also really easy to eat. So after making it home, I showed my brothers all the candy I got, and they were just so surprised by how much candy I got. Don't worry, I shared some. I think I ended up giving about half of it to my brothers because I felt really bad, because obviously my brothers are going to be more excited for Halloween than I am, and then I was the one who was most successful with the candy collecting. So I think I ended up giving them about like half of what I got, which still leaves me about a half a pillowcase of Halloween candy. So I was definitely set for the year. But because I got the bear, I think I let them take most of the candy that we got, which is fair. That was insane, and it was so fun, and I will never forget that. This dip is so fun. So I just added what I thought would taste good in it, and the vegan M&Ms, they're by the brand Unreal. It's the yellow bag. They're dark chocolate M&Ms because their pink bag is not vegan, but their yellow bag is. And that's what these ones are. And they have quinoa crisps in them. So it's kind of like almost a crunch bar in M&M form. And it's really good. And they're really fun in this dip too because they're soft. So you take a bite and you're chewing it. You get the chocolate chips and the crunchy Oreos, but then you bite into the M&M. It's just like it's just a really fun texture. Especially in the dip. So that is the end of my crazy Halloween experience. Oh, we also, I think, went through another haunted house. Oh my gosh, yeah. I actually forgot about this. So one of Emma's neighbors actually had their backyard open, and they let us walk into the backyard. They had a bunch of like Halloween actors who were dressed up, and they were just like doing things on the side of the pathway and doing things to freak us out. And then at the very end, I think we had to answer a question from this one guy. I don't remember. It was just a really fun thing. And then he also, I think, handed out otter pops if you wanted one. And one of the actors working there was a semi-attractive male with his shirt off. Scandalous. Emma and I were like, That man. Oh my gosh, we're so stupid. But every time I went to Emma's house after that, we're like, do you remember that one guy? But we didn't even see him again after that night. We always acted like one of the times we were passing by his house to get to Emma's house, he'd come out and for some reason want to talk to us. I don't know. I don't know if he was our age, but I mean, he was young. So he was probably in his early 20s, maybe even 19 or 20. I don't know. At the time, I think we were 17, I think. Emma might have been 18 already. I don't remember, but it was fun. Yes, I still trick-or-treated at that age, and yes, I'm still trick-or-treating this year. I'm going to be trick-or-treating when I'm a grandma, and that's going to be perfect because I can dress up as myself and say I'm dressed up as a grandma. Comment what you're going to be for Halloween if you're going trick-or-treating. Even if you're just dressing up. Let me know what you're going to be because I would love to know. That's one of my favorite questions around Halloween. Because it's like a fun way of getting to know people. Because you ask them what they're going to be. For example, last year, I think I was Hermione Granger. Or a few years ago, I was Hermione Granger. And just by that, you know that I like Harry Potter. So it's really fun to ask people what they're going to dress up as because you kind of get a peek at their personality. I could easily eat this dip with pretzels for probably the rest of my life. I'm just kidding. I get sugared out. But the pretzels are just so good with it. Like, I'm having just so much fun over here. If you're wondering what I'm going to be for Halloween, I don't know if I've told you guys yet. Well, I'm telling you now, and if I already told you, I'm sorry. But Maylee's my sister, if you don't know. She made a Jack Frost hoodie, and she also has a Jack Frost staff. So, she's going to be Jack Frost for Halloween. So, I was going to be North from Rise of the Guardians, Santa, but I would have to buy so much because I have, like, nothing for that costume. And so, I was kind of stressed out because that was our original plan. So, I was kind of stressed out because I was like, I don't have any of those things. What am I supposed to do? And then Maylee comes up with the idea that I should be a gender-bended version of Pitch, the bad guy in Rise of the Guardians, because I have a black wig and she has this like dark cloak I can use, and then I just have to wear a dark shirt and dark pants or leggings and black shoes, and that's it. And I'm obviously going to do some like dark shadowing around my neck and forehead and stuff, but it's really easy to do. So I'm really excited. I'm going to be Pitch and she's going to be Jack Frost, and it's going to be really fun. I'm really excited. Actually, Maylee and I were originally planning on being Fred and George for Halloween, but Harry Potter robes and wands and just anything in general is so expensive, and so we're like, maybe next year. Oh, we were also going to be Miguel and Tulio from the Road to El Dorado. Or is it the map to El Dorado? No, that sounds wrong. I don't know, because usually Maylee and I just call it El Dorado. I think it's the Road to El Dorado. If I'm wrong, you guys can hate on me in the comments, because that's one of my favorite movies, and I just messed up the name. So, you have the right to criticize me for that. I'm giving you permission. I think this is going to be my last bite so I don't overstuff myself. I ate so much more than I was planning. I ate about, I mean, a little bit less than half of that. But I practically finished this. That's pretty much polished off, but super good. Alright, last bite. Alright guys, that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Comment down below what recommendations you have. I actually have a really long list of videos that you guys have requested and I'm really trying to get through them, but I still like to get requests, so I'm just setting myself up here. Anyway, comment if you want to hear more story times. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!